So welcome back to another video. And in the last video, we created a infrastructure for us to deploy our Hyperledger Fabric network. On this video, we're going to deploy the first resources of our network, the organization. So here I have GoFabric opened, and on the last video, I created the infrastructure. So on this video, assuming that I have my infrastructure created and ready, I'm going to create an organization. So what I can do is I can follow along with this onboarding page. Just going to go into get started. And here we're going to be prompted with the creation of an infrastructure. If you've seen the previous video, we went through this. So you can see that I already have an infra. So I'm going to skip this step. And now we are prompted to create our virtual machines. And I already did that as well. So I'm going to skip the step. And now we're going to be ready for the creation of our organization. So for this, we're going to create one organization, and I'm going to give it a name. Okay, so this is going to be org1, and I'm going to give it a domain, which is going to be example.com. And I'm going to select a host for a particular API that we are going to create called network API. And the network API is a part of the organization that it's going to be the gateway for GoFabric to manage that organization, prompting peers to join channels, prompting installation of chain codes and commit of chain codes and all that stuff. So I'm going to choose one of them. So I'm going to choose GoFabric demo Samuel 0. This is one of the machines that we created last time. And I'm going to choose the type of organization. So GoFabric provides two tiers of organizations. One is the starter organization, which is free for use, but with some limitations, and a full organization. So we're going to go with full organization. And now we're going to choose the details of our certificate authority. So you probably have seen the videos on Fabric concepts. If you haven't, I suggest you see that so you know exactly what the CA is. I'm going to choose the same host. Okay, so this means that we're creating now two resources. One's going to be the network API, and the other one's going to be the CA. They're going to be hosted on the same virtual machine. And I'm going to choose a CA username and also a CA password. Okay, you can create the CA as an intermediate CA. And when you do that, you need to provide the certificates for that CA if you are issuing those certificates from an external CA certificate authority, okay? So we're just going to click on create organization. And now we're going to wait for organization to be deployed, okay? So now we can see that our API container has just been started. We're going to have the CA starting soon. We're going to have the enrollment and registering of the user, of the admin user. And we are having a Prometheus and Grafana container being started as well. Okay. These are going to be used for monitoring of the organization. Okay. So our organization is ready. And I'm going to close this. And now I'm prompted to invite members to the organization. This means that I can have an organization being managed by more than one person. In this case, we're going to skip this. And now I met with an overview of my organization, right? So I can see that my certificate authority is running, my network API as well. And now I can create peers and orderers, which are going to be the actual building blocks of the organization that we are going to create. I'm going to create a peer. It's just as simple. I'm just going to select one of the hosts. So I can actually do this on the same host that I have before. And what limits the host that you are choosing is basically the port of the container. Okay, so you can actually customize ports as well. We're just going to go with default ports, and here I'm going to provide the admin the admin user and password that we just created. So I'm going to submit this, and now we're going to wait for the peer to be created. So you can see that we created peer certificates, and now we're starting the CouchDB container and the peer container, right? And what I can do now is also create an orderer. So again, if you haven't seen the video on Fabric concepts, I suggest you do so you can understand what is the purpose of the resources that we are creating here. So we're gonna choose the orderer host, and here I'm gonna do something different. I'm gonna choose another host, so just because we can, and I'm gonna give it the admin user and password, and now we're creating that as well. Okay. So now we have our organization ready. I can click on the peer and I can actually see the details of that container. I can see the details on the logging, and I can see that we have no channels passed. Okay. So we have an idle resource for the peer and also for the orderer. So I can also do that with orderer, And we can see it here that we have some logs with starting procedures. And now what we need to do is actually to make this organization be a part of a blockchain network, because now we just have resources, right? So in the next video, we're going to go through the creation of a business group and the creation of a Hyperledger Fabric channel for this organization, okay? So I'll see you in the next video.